What's going on, guys? Lee here, and I'm your coach to the Portland Trail Blazikens, bringing you week 1 against the opponent Nood, coach of the Galarian Guardians. So this is APA Odyssey for those of you who are just popping in. Here's just a quick rundown to what my team looks like. Is this little thing, and I'll be showing the team builder as well, so you don't really have to worry about that too hard. But besides that, Nood has sand, he does with Gigalith. So he has Sandrush, Excadrill, obviously Mold Breaker as well. Milotic, Gigalith, Sigilyph, Flapple, Girder, Sableye, Jolteon, Charizard, and Glaceon. So just looking at his team, obviously he has Jolteon, so he's a very fast mon. Charizard could be very annoying. Glaceon with Freeze Dry and Ice Beam can be kind of annoying. And then obviously always Sand Rush, Drill, and like Cosmic Power, Sigilyph can always be obnoxious. But yeah, we'll just jump right into the team I brought. Starting with Aegislash. I always say that differently. Rocking just 240 HP, which is just to optimize the lefty's recovery. Plus, going behind the sub, you want an odd number. So there's that, and we'll divide by 4 plus 1. It's really what you want, or divisible by 4 plus 1. Anyway, max special attack for as much damage as possible, and then 16 speed in case he went for the speed creep. Shadow Ball, Rock Slide, King Shield, and Substitute. So Nood's team doesn't have any normal types, so Shadow Ball was just completely free. There's nothing to really worry about there. And then Rock Slide would be for the Charizard switch-in, because, I don't know, maybe it would happen, because offensively Charizard would be really good against Aegislash. So that was kind of the set, and then, yeah, just King Shield and Sub is a super, like, not stally, but, like, very defensive approach, and can help wither down the team and stall out sand turns, I suppose. Next up, we have Virizion with Stone Edge, Leaf Blade, Close Combat, and Synthesis, holding a Life Orb. The speed was for Sigilyph, I believe. No, Zard, because 328 would have been Zard. So, outspeeds everything but Jolteon, and then can hit pretty much everything for super effective damage. However, I still wanted the Life Orb because that little because what's Life Orb? Is that 1.3, and then Expert Belt is 1.2, right? Yeah, so that extra little bit of damage actually helped secure a couple rolls when I was running damage calcs. And so, since Virizion was faster than this whole team, and I wasn't even sure if he was going to bring Jolteon, Virizion being able to outspeed the whole team was really nice for me. Next up, we have Eviolite Hippopotas with just defenses and an Eviolite, and then a little bit of attack just because I didn't really feel like putting in HP, if I'm honest. Earthquake for hitting everything besides Sigilyph, but Sigilyph I can roar out, and then we have Stealth Rock and Slack Off. Again, Eviolite, and then Sandstream because that helps with the next mon being Dracovish, Choice Banded Sandrush with Vicious Rend, Ice Fang, Facade, and Outrage. I mean, let's be real, you're only clicking Vicious Rend. So, I mean, 252. I had to be jolly because I wanted to make sure. I don't remember what this outsped. 500. Yeah, I don't remember. It outsped something when I'm not in Sand Rush. That's what it was. But I really don't remember what. Either way. Oh, I think maybe just Glaceon or something. And then 252 attack plus a band. And I get the Sand Rush, so Fish's Rend is pretty much always activated unless I'm going against Excadrill, also in sand, but that's not too big of a deal. And additionally, no Strong Jaw makes it a little bit weaker, but circumventing it with a Choice Scarf. Next up, we have Silvally Dark. I'm talking about this team for only 4 minutes, whatever. Next up, we have Silvally Dark with Multi-Attack, Psychic Fangs, Parting Shot, and Defog. His entire team is not able to like resist multi-attack besides Girder, who would probably not appreciate a Psychic Bangs, which is pretty much my train of thought. 'Cause, I mean, multi-attack is base 120, so pretty strong move, and having no resist is a really clickable spam, which is really nice. And then finally we have Heavy Duty Boots, Rotom Fan with Air Slash, Volt Switch, Foul Play, and Pain Split being pretty defensive with enough speed for, again, I don't know, probably modest Glaceon, if I'm looking and trying to remember, but doesn't matter. Yeah, so this is kind of what I was planning on to be the dedicated answer to Excadrill, if it got down to it, because I'd live anything from Excadrill being even Adamant Life Orb, and then I can Foul Play it back. So, kind of my train of thought there. And, yeah, I think that's about it. This game is post-com. If you guys do want live, let me know in the comments. I've done both. I kind of like the clarity or the conciseness that comes with doing a post-com. However, if people want to hear my train of thought while I'm going, you know, I could 100% do that. So, yeah, we'll jump right into the replay. They bring pretty much the team I was expecting, except they brought Jolteon, which I was not anticipating. I figured Charizard, but Glaceon could have also fit that flex spot. But Drill, Gigalith, Milotic, Sableye, Jolteon, and Sigilyph. So pretty much, even looking at the team, it's like, okay, Life Orb, Adamant, Soft Sand, Gigalith, Flame Orb, Milotic, probably just Prankster, Willow, Foul Play, whatever, Annoying Sableye, probably Choice Specs, Jolteon, and then some annoying Sigilyph. And it could also be the Defogger for the team, because you're not going to want to bring Rapid Spin on Drill, even though it's not that bad since you get the +1 speed. But, yeah. Based on the team, though, I thought Virizion had the best matchup, per se, because Virizion would have been good here. It would have been good in case it was, for some reason, like a Drill lead. Would have been good for Gigalith. It would have been fine for Jolteon, and again, it would have been fine, at least to help scout out what this Sigilyph was. So, I decided I wanted to just lead Virizion, as Nood actually decides to lead Sableye. And obviously, this isn't the best matchup for me, because Virizion, in this case, is a physical attacker, and, you know, you're always going to be expecting a Prankster, Willow, coming from Sableye. And so I go into Silvally Dark, which, again, this is pretty much my dedicated Sableye counter, since Dark types block Prankster. Let me slow down a little bit. Woo. So Silvally can pretty much always be my answer to Sableye. I block the Willow, and now I get to go for a completely free multi-attack to see what he actually wants to do as a switch-in. And so we fire it off, and we do actually a decent chunk to Milotic, who does show the Flame Orb, and this is defensive. I can then just go for a parting shot out into Rotom Fan, expecting maybe a Toxic or a Recovery. And they actually decide to Dragon Tail, and I get right into Virizion, which is really, really fortunate for me. I get to just fire off a Leaf Blade and see, again, what Nood wants to be his answer. And it's Sigilyph. Now, I had to double check that it wasn't Scarf Sig. And showing that they doubled there kind of explains, or like makes me know that it's not Scarf, because that could have been like a good bait for the Virizion. Now here I can just go for Volt Switch and go right into Dracovish, because there's nothing that Gigalith can do that would like kill Dracovish, and I don't need HP because I outspeed everything besides Drill, and I don't really want to be in that situation anyway of Vish versus Drill. By the way, Nood just decides to go for the rocks. And this following turn, it just means, hey, I get to fire off a mean Choice Banded Vicious Rend. He goes into Milotic. I do a nice 25, and after Burn plus Sand, Milotic isn't living another hit, which just means Dracovish picks up its first KO and my first kill for the league, which is great. So here you're pretty much expecting Sableye, since Drill can't kill from this HP range. And I actually make a really bad play here, because, as I said in my team building part of this video, Rotom Fan was going to be my dedicated answer to Drill. And then I go into Sableye when I have a completely dedicated answer in Silvally Fairy. What's worse is, the reason I did it was I was expecting him to assume I'm going Silvally Dark, right? But looking at his team, he couldn't punish that switch anyway, so I should still be making it, because even if he does predict me to go Silvally Dark, and he makes, I don't know, goes into Sigilyph because it outspeeds or something, I'm still super effectively hitting with multi-attack the very next turn, or I get a parting shot out, off if I don't like the scenario, like if it was against Gigalith, for example. So this was a pretty poor play on my part, and it actually makes it kind of dangerous into the late game. As you'll see, it gets pretty scary. Because, yeah, I fire off an Air Slash, because again, I was expecting Jolteon or Excadrill, but there's, once again, no point in it, because even if he goes Jolteon, I have Hippopotas, and if he goes Excadrill, I'm already in with my answer. So, again, two poor plays that make this endgame really hard for me, and it's hard to come back from. But Rotom Fan, now I'm just going to Volt Switch out, which is a play I should have made anyway. But I get to go back into Dracovish, 2 turns of Sand, going down to 1. And this just means Dracovish is going to kill something. And him sacking Sableye, to me, was really nice, because now he can't revenge me with anything. And once again, as long as I keep my HP high enough, Excadrill can't kill. So it can't kill from even another Rocks entry. And so I decided to go into Hippopotas because Jolteon's out. As they reveal Hyper Voice, which is a really cool bring on their part. And I still live 1, which is really nice. And so I'm expecting them to switch, obviously. That was also Specs damage, by the way. I get to get out my own Rocks. I'm going to be way too scared to see them go for Cosmic Power or Calm Mind, so I decide to Whirlwind. And they go into Gigalith. And at this point, I'm just going to slack off my HP, because at worst he's going to throw a Toxic off, and he actually just did a Heavy Slam. And so now at this point, I can make a play into Rotom Fan, which now I'm playing with Rotom Fan aggressively after I messed up with it earlier, because now it's not useful to me. After it's at 50 HP plus the Rocks entry to 25, like, Drill can kill me. So Rotom Fan was now disposable to me, and again, poor plays on my part. But they go for the Calm Mind, as I'm just going to Volt Switch out. I don't know, it was from a knockoff. I go into Hippopotas, get my Sand back up, and at this point, he can either choose to kill me, and then now there's 3 turns of Sand. And I actually miscalculated this. I thought I was going to have 4 turns of Sand, but I didn't. Because if I had 4 turns of Sand, Dracovish at 88 HP can't die from Drill. At least I'm pretty sure. And then I'd be able to just click, 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 and win. I'm actually going to run that, because I'm pretty sure I made it, or that my Dracovish, I'm going to just kind of quickly do this. Yeah, see, it did 86. So I made the mistake of thinking, oh, I go into Hippopotas, I'll have 4 turns to myself of Sand, but I actually had 3. And so I thought I was just going to be able to win until I, realized. Because, yeah, again, I've been able to just click, click, click. And I actually got down to 76. Oh, hold up. So it's actually a roll. Right? Horribly not in my favor. So I lied. Because I forgot about the Rocks. Either way, it's fine. At this point, I still wasn't sure, was Drill going to be Life Orb? Was it going to be Adamant? Because it might have been Shuka or, like, something to bait Virizion. Like, I just didn't know. And if Drill's still around, it's always faster than Vish. And so I decided I should just make this play now instead of worrying about it later. Because had I went to sack something off, like what does that do for me? Because that's just another turn of Rocks, and then the moment Sand comes back up with Gigalith, like, we're back into the scenario. So Dracovish was kind of just useless to me. Well, not useless, but, like, it was worth just getting this handled now. And so Excadrill shows that's Life Orb. I can go right into Virizion and scout with Rotom for what he wants to click, because I think Excadrill can learn Aerial Ace plus Poison Jab. And Poison Jab actually is enough to kill. But either way, I needed to sack the Sand turn so Virizion could come in, and then I forced him to sack Gigalith. Now Sand is back up, and so this is where crunch time happens, because now I have 3 Mons, he has Excadrill and Jolteon, and he's got Sand up. So Excadrill is ridiculously dangerous. So Virizion is going to die to anything Excadrill does. Aegislash would die from an Earthquake. Actually, I don't... Yeah, definitely. I was going to say, I should just double check. But yeah, Aegislash definitely dies to an Earthquake, and that doesn't give you the King's Shield like -1. So Drill would kill. However, Silvally Dark can do, like, it could do like 66 to Drill. Or something like that. I don't remember. 66 to 78. And they're at 84. And so at this point, what I needed to do is get some Life Orb chip. And so, one, Excadrill is probably going to go for a Poison Jab again. Or maybe an Iron Head, because I think I'm now going to be in the Iron Head range. And again, I think I need 2 turns of Life Orb chip. Plus, I'm going to have to live a hit from Drill. And so he goes for Iron Head, takes that Life Orb damage. And now I should be smart and realize that he has to have Rock Slide as his last move, because he needs to be able to touch Rotom Fan. This would allow me to actually preserve Aegislash, go back into Virizion, go Silvally, click multi-attack twice, and win. Because, again, after the Silvally turn, or after, if I went into Aegislash to sack, one, I'd probably live and force another turn of Life Orb chip, but 2, I could then go into Silvally, because, again, Silvally actually lives no matter what against Excadrill. So, yeah, I probably should have been like, oh, he's going to have Rock Slide, I'm just going to go into Virizion and be okay. However, I just didn't want to risk a Swords Dance, because if he actually did be just a straight madman and go for the Swords Dance here, as I would go into Virizion, I would then lose, because there's enough Sand turns for him to just sweep. And so that was, since I've already set myself up into this situation that I didn't have Rotom Fan to help revenge for me, or like Wall, I needed to make these calculated, or like the safe plays. I wasn't going to try and play with Diff, because I still had control, as well as long as I could get Silvally in. That's it. So I just go into Slash, and I just click Shadow Ball as I do die, and now he's at 64%, bringing him into a magic number. Now, I also want to be pretty... There's also this. I wanted to get him to this point, because if he... What am I saying? I wanted to get into this point because no matter what, he was going to have to attack me again, and with that Life Orb damage, he's going to be into like the 50s range. And because Drill could run a good amount of HP being Sand Rush, because, you know, you're doubling your speed. So I wanted to be extra thorough in case he does have a lot of HP, and I just wanted to make sure he's not living a multi-attack. So at this point, I'm at 88, so just out of range, even after, like, a Sand turn. But, yeah. So then I know I'm going to live any hit. As he does decide to go for Iron Head, which I'm assuming would be just to try and flinch me. He doesn't get the flinch. I fire off my multi-attack. I knock him out. And actually do KO Jolteon as well, so he couldn't make that switch. He could have gotten an extra 6% on me. But then there would just been a roll still in my favor in that same situation. He would have clicked Earthquake. He still would have been better off clicking Iron Head, because the flinch chance, I think, was higher than the KO chance. But either way, we then get to go into Virizion, which has like 129 Split F or whatever. And Jolteon is locked into Hyper Voice, letting me just pick up the KO with a close combat, and that is game. So, really close game. I mean, not living by a whole lot at the end. I really enjoyed it. again, I did make a pretty big mistake with Rotom Fan. Those 2 turns were really bad. Had I just went Silvally Dark like I always did, it would have been just fine. But either way, we win, and it was a great game. So again, GG's to Nood. I think he's also posting. I think he did it live though. So if you want a live version, go check his out whenever it does pop up. I think he said he was going to give himself a little bit, like a 1-week overlap or something. I don't know. But either way, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did get this far, thank you. But also, do let me know if you want me to do it live or post-com, because I'm willing to do both. Also, if you want a specific team builder video, because I'm pretty flexible. I just kind of wanted to make sure I was thinking pretty thoroughly, as I still made a misplay. But for my first battle for the APA league, just because this is the first league that I did that's kind of, I mean, quote unquote, big. So, yeah. Hope you guys enjoy. This brings us up to 1-0 with a 1 differential. And yeah, stay tuned for either like a live that I'm potentially posting, or, you know, I'm also doing mono gen still with the IBL. And yeah, otherwise stay tuned for next week. Alright, that's it for me. See you guys later.